So do you believe that there's been any changes in law or policy that support these type of initiatives?
Well, one important change has been the law around reporting on equal pay. There's certainly big issues around that. Fortunately, not so bad in engineering as in many other areas of business, but certainly there are all sorts of things around unconscious bias that has an impact on what women are paid. These are unconscious. There's nobody deliberately trying to go out there and not pay women what they're worth, but there are all sorts of other things that go on. So that law will actually make a big difference to companies. One thing that large corporations in particular are waking up to is the fact that they really need to start exploiting the large pool of talent that's out there. Essentially what we've been doing, particularly in the UK, not just the UK, but we are in the UK at the bottom of the league when it comes to the participation of women in engineering compared to the rest of Europe. Very much down at the bottom of the league. What we have been doing is really just looking at half the pool, at only men and boys.
So what role do you believe businesses need to play in supporting these type of initiatives?
Well, I think the first thing that businesses have got to do is really look internally at what they are doing and what is it that they want from their workforce. What is, if you, I mean, the reason why the corporates are getting so good at this is because they have data around innovation and the link between profitability and diversity. The small organisations don't. So there are still many organisations that the first thing they do is say, let's do some outreach. That's great in itself, but actually there's no point in doing lots of outreach, getting lots of women and girls into the start of engineering, only for most of them to have left engineering by the time they're in their 40s because of all the other barriers that happen within employment. There are more women who are trained as engineers out of engineering than in engineering. So there's still quite a lot to do, and companies really have to look internally and make sure that what they're doing is absolutely right for all their workforce.
I totally agree. And what would you say is the future for women in engineering?
Well, we hope that one day there'll be 50-50 men and women in engineering, because that would then show that engineering has been understood in terms of perceptions and so on, but also in terms of really getting to talent out there that is all over the place. And maybe if we get to that point, then maybe the Women's Engineering Society would be disbanded, because the role of the Women's Engineering Society was to encourage more women into engineering, to support them once they were there. However, I think there is a role for the Women's Engineering Society to just become the Engineering Society and continue the work on perceptions around engineering and making sure that we've got the best people in engineering.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.